I know the world has always been a crazy place, but I think it's officially just gone batshit crazy. I mean, when it's not even safe to just be a gamer, go to a tournament and have a fun time with your friends playing a game, I think it's really, really sad day and things are just really batshit crazy right now. I mean, Madden, football game, right? Now, I know a lot of people try to preach that, violence in games is what, creates people to do violence, at types of games. Now, something happened this particular weekend at a Madden game. A person got very, very angry and they went and shot and killed two other individuals and then took their own life at a Madden game. So I don't really think that video game violence is really the blame for these type of things. I think it's that just people are just snapping crazy. Now, two different elements to today's video. First of all, I just think that it's really sad, and my condolences go out to all the people, families, and the victims of this particular event that happened in Gainesville, Florida. I'm really sorry that you would have to deal with something like this, especially just something like football, which is like pretty much a pastime in America like baseball. Everybody loves their football, their basketball, their baseball. I mean, they pretty much all sports. America is a very sports-oriented country, and you should be able to go even to an e-sport and know that you're safe. So let's start off right there first, okay? First off, you're at an event and you see that there are all these shootings that have happened in the past at other things. Shouldn't everywhere that's an event these days start to have like a metal detector and better security to make sure that a person, first of all, can't even bring a weapon into a tournament? That's the first thing about this. Security, because of the way the world is now, this batshit crazy going on, you're going to have to install many more of these metal detectors and have much more critical searches on these types of things for people's protection. I mean, it's just the way it's going to have to go. I mean, think about how these people feel, the victims' families, even the person who did the violence. Think about how their family feels, all about this. And if there was better security, this could have been avoided completely. This didn't have to happen. It really didn't have to happen. That's what's really got me down. There could have been so many different ways that this could have been avoided. Now, the person in question, I'm not going to name them because I'm not going to give them 5 minutes of their time. Publicly. Sorry, I'm really frustrated with this. This kind of like touched me in a kind of a weird way. I heard about it yesterday, and like me and Anthony talked about it for a while, and just like, man, okay, this is it's gone too far. Things need to change, and this person is, I guess, known to have a history of having mental illness. Now, what exactly this mental illness is, I don't know. I'm not a shrink. I didn't go delve in and go like do this great big dig on this person to find out about it. But if a person has a history of mental illness, how do they get a gun? That's the really, really deep issue here, is like, how does a person who has these problems get a gun? And this gentleman not only had one gun, he actually had two guns in the trunk of his car. He only brought one in with him. He didn't bring both of them in, but he still had access to that gun. So he walked out to his car after losing a tournament. So I guess he was in like the pre-qualifications or whatever for Madden in the game, and he lost. And after he lost, he walked out of the building, came back in with a gun, and then began the shooting. Now, it's a game. Like, how anyone could be so upset and so angry about losing a game that you would shoot somebody, in my mind, I can't even wrap my mind around it. I'm just like totally confused. It just makes me want to cry and bang my head because I don't understand it whatsoever. I'm not saying that I couldn't kill somebody, but there would have to be a definite reason. Self-defense being the main one. Like if they were trying to actually kill him, yeah. But you're playing a Madden game, a sports game. And that was like probably the biggest, probably almost, I don't know, but in history of poor sportsmanship that ever happened. I mean, that's beyond a sore loser. You're so angry and upset over a game that you get a gun and you go in and you take the lives of other human beings. Those people can never get their lives back ever again. They're gone. No more sunsets, no more cool food, no more gaming, no more girls, no more anything. Now, the oldest victim was 28 years old, but these people they were under 30. They were pretty much in the prime of their life, cut down over just trying to go out and have fun at a Madden event, Metal detectors would have been there, better security, they would have caught the gun. And if you want to go even further back, Massachusetts probably really needs to take a look at their gun laws and do something different. I know everybody in America wants to own a gun. All the movies have us all believing that we're either being invaded by aliens or being invaded by the government, or we're basically going to all, be at war with somebody very soon. The gun craze is big here in America. I will fully admit it. Guns are huge. I have many friends that are, just have lots and lots of guns, probably more guns than they'll ever need. My cousin Adrian's one of them. He just owns so many guns. It's just mind-boggling. Now, mind you, this is a Christian guy with 8 kids, and he's very well balanced person, and he's really into putting them together and reselling them and stuff like that. So him having guns is a little bit different than a person who's getting guns, to use for some kind of, crazy thing. But, he has other friends, and they're like these people who live underground, have shelters, and they honestly really think that we're going to be going to war, so they own lots and lots of guns. Now, that's why the gun craze is so big here in America overall. But gun control laws, they need to be much more rigid than they are. I think you go fill out some paperwork, they do a mild background check. I think it takes 14 days here in the state of California. You can have a gun right in your hand, you own a gun. Now in California, you can't get really a concealed weapons permit, but just having a gun, anybody can get it. So, just because you can't put it inside your jacket, you can still put that gun in a paper bag and put it in your hand and walk down the street, and people just think you're eating some popcorn or something. So, there's many ways around that. At the end of the day, it's very sad that it now seems like just going to a gaming event has become a blood sport. And not by choice either, because these people aren't, in the ring like Jean-Claude Van Damme fighting for something. They're innocent victims, becoming a blood sport, which they didn't choose to participate in, to have nothing to do with. In the future, at all of these events, security has to be upped. And I know it's kind of a bummer. People say, oh my God, that's terrible. But you know what? If they're only looking for guns and stuff like that with metal detectors and stuff like that, it's only for your protection. I think that's a good idea nowadays. You guys can leave me some comments down below what you guys think about all this stuff in general. I don't think that any gamer or any person should have to worry about going anywhere in public and worrying about it. You shouldn't have to worry about going to Disneyland and having some guy getting pissed off because mentally he doesn't like Mickey Mouse, so he decides to start shooting everybody around Mickey Mouse in this wild, crazy shooting thing. And that's about as much sense as this particular shooting in Gainesville, Florida. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You know what I mean? No sense. No sense whatsoever. I'm frustrated with this stuff. And it could have been avoided, should have been avoided. And people who are known to have a mental illness, that's not usually their fault. But this person, I will say this. It does say also that he had a history of doing a lot of drugs. Now, I don't know if these are prescription drugs or just drugs in general, But a person who's completely drugged out and has a history of mental illness should not really be able to go out and purchase a gun willy-nilly like that. The process should be much more rigid. This person should have never had a gun in their hand in the first place. And at that event, there should have been better security, making sure that if some guy like him had a gun in their hand, that he was caught and detained on the spot before he could cause harm to any of his other fellow human beings. The world's batshit crazy. We all got to protect each other and look out for each other and love each other. This guy obviously was so crazy, so hurt, so angry that not only did he kill them, he killed himself, hurting not only their families, his own family, and all the people around them that are completely freaked out. Honestly, God bless those families and the victims. I hope everyone, can get over this emotionally. And I know a lot of people are going to feel a lot of trauma. And if this really did shock you, make sure that you get the right help with a counselor or talk to a family and friend, because I know that a lot of people, I wasn't even there, and I feel emotional when I cry about it. So I'm sure that there are people that were actually there at the event that, it would probably really affect them very deeply mentally. So if you're suffering from this type of stuff and you don't know how to deal with it, make sure you reach out to somebody and talk to somebody, and don't freak out and kill yourself or do something crazy in the process because of your experience. So videos like this are really kind of like hard to make, because like they're not really about tech, but they're kind of like involved in our whole world of tech, since we're all like mostly gamers and PC enthusiasts. These guys might have been console guys, but still we're all one giant family. Like I said, we should love each other, take care of each other. Crazy people shouldn't have guns, and there should be security so guns don't ever get into events. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions down below.